Morning, Frank.
Morning.
It is a familiar pattern at the moment. You have some great scenes with the supporters after the game. You do an interview, you're informed of another record you've broken. As a manager, how long do you give yourself to enjoy what is happening after each match?
I think you have to enjoy it when you're playing well and winning games. It's not always the case and won't always be the case. But yeah, when we work as hard as we do, when the whole group feels together, when the club feels really well connected with fans and players alike, then I think it's a good moment. So, it's easier to work in those circumstances for sure. It's never short on me the need to improve and keep going and try and find ways to be better, because every game, the next game is always the big challenge. So somewhere in the middle, really, you've got to enjoy it, but we keep working.
Is that something that's come with time and you develop as a manager, the ability to be more level?
Maybe. I think I've been doing this a fairly long time, 7 years or something now, and I think when you are fresh and new to the role, every win is really maximised because you're so desperate to do it. Every loss, you can sometimes become a bit down about or go really searching on, and I think it's important to keep the basics of those feelings because that's what drives us to do well. But I think you have to find a balance, and maybe with time it's easier to find that.
On the subject of finding a balance then for the players, going back to your time as a player, there would have been times at Chelsea where you were quite far clear early in a season. Was that something that was self-policed by senior players in the dressing room? Were managers like Jose Mourinho influential in keeping it like that?
Both sides. I would say it's important for the manager we have, the experience we have to lead. So I think we try and find a balance of giving confidence to feel like a team. It's a new feeling for us to be like this, to consistently be playing like this from where we were, and I think it's important that there's a strength to that in keeping confidence. But we must always, as I say, bring it back to as well know that the challenges that will always lay ahead in many ways. So I think we lead that, but also the dressing room has to play a big part in that. And I've said it a lot here, but we have a very good dressing room. I think the dressing room's developed a long time in the 11 or so months that we've been here themselves, individuals within it. Grimes coming in as captain, little changes like that, Kitchen vice captain. So they're good. They're very good for that. I trust in them, but I still have to do my job.
When you said there it's a new experience, I imagine that means being the hunted rather than the hunters. And is that something that, as a group, becomes more difficult the longer a season goes on? The longer you're there, the more you're tempted to sort of start looking behind you a little bit?
Well, in part of that journey we will, because it won't be that we're on this run all the time. This league's too competitive for that. I suppose that when I say it's new, I'm just thinking about when we came in, we were 17th or so, the confidence was low for various reasons, whatever. Having had a really good period as a club, we've come up through the divisions and had some really big moments, but in that moment we didn't have this feeling. We didn't have that the first month or so we worked together. We were searching to find the best way forward. The players are searching for confidence and to improve, and at this point we've found a lot of that. So we should be proud of that in this moment, that we're playing to a level this season. I think our performance level has been really pretty consistent and strong, but we also have to understand to go to the next level is to take on the challenges that will be with form, fitness, opposition, things that happen. Those things are there, and big teams learn that over the course of time. So we shouldn't be expectant that all of a sudden we'll come out with our shoulders back and win every game. It doesn't work that way. So we'll fight against that when needs be.
Does it help to have Middlesbrough there right behind you, in the sense that you could get a little bit more complacent if you were suddenly 7-8 points clear already?
Yeah, we're not. It's a reality, and in fact, with our performances, I think we should probably have some more points. If I'm honest, with a couple of draws that we've had, but that's done. Middlesbrough are very close, obviously, as you say, but so are others. And we know that in this league, if you drop your form for a period of games, it can change the picture very dramatically. So we're absolutely clear on that.
Just on looking into the future then, with such good performances becomes a bit more scrutiny and probably speculation about your players. Are you confident that when you get to January, if you're in a similar position, that the club will be able to hold on to the players that are attracting so much attention at the moment?
Yeah, very confident, because if we want to sustain what we're doing, we have to build on top of it, not take away from it. And I think it was a strength of ours in the window that we managed to keep players that have improved a lot, and that's a great thing. Everyone's happy with that. They have to enjoy being here, which you get the feeling that they do at this moment. And if anything, in January we'll look to build if we want success, if we want that, because there are some areas of the squad where we have strong backup and we can handle the rigours of the season with injuries, etc., and good competition. And there's some areas where we may look to move forward on to become stronger. I think that's the sign of a club that's developing and wants to keep going with that strategy.
Thanks, Frank.
Thank you.
Morning, Frank.
Morning.
Is it important to keep the balance right this week after the Portsmouth game between rest and yet you've still got to prepare for Watford on Saturday?
Yeah, definitely. It's very important with our squad that we rest in the right way. I think that's probably the biggest priority for us. And after that, we have to analyse Watford with a new manager, with really strong individuals, a lot of athleticism in their team. Good team. We've been watching them, and particularly the last few games with the new manager. So we rest a lot, but we have to remain really focused.
And of course, they won the other night. They've had less preparation time than you. It's another lunchtime kick-off, I suppose. Like everything else, that can work one of two ways for you, can't it?
Yeah, it can. We had the flip in the last week's work. We played on Wednesday, played on Saturday. We won that game 5-0 on a Saturday. It's not a written rule, but I'm not sitting here to say that I don't understand that their turnaround is quicker. We need to try and maximise that if we can, to use that day's rest, because we had it the other way, and we were not at our best at Sheffield Wednesday, even though we won the game. So I understand that, but we need to do everything we can just to look after ourselves to be in the best shape.
It's a very fluid club, Watford, obviously, in terms of head coaches coming and going. Javi Gracia is back there now. He's been in post before, so he won't have to get used to the surroundings at the club necessarily. But how do you approach a game against Watford? I mean, they beat West Brom, didn't they, the other night?
Yeah, I agree. I think the consistency of him having worked there before will be helpful to him. Those are all their issues. I just think we respect the team for what it is. We know things about the historical approach of the manager, where he's worked there before, where he's worked at other clubs, how he wants to play, and those things. So I think we probably have to be ready for a lot of things tomorrow. I think they're a team, if you watch their games, of the Sheffield United's game to the West Brom game, and their second half performance particularly showed a sort of different style, and that can be common in this league. You can prepare for, say, Blackburn last week to be their usual 4-2-3-1, and they come with a back five. So we have to be ready to adapt ourselves.
And in terms of being top of the table, obviously, you'll know from being at Chelsea that often other teams then raise their game when they're playing against a team that are top of the league, don't they?
Yeah, I think so. And it's the challenge of being a team that's up there. So whether we can remain the course will be how we deal with those things. Of teams maybe respecting us or lifting their game, all these things changing their shape, as Blackburn did, to pretty good effect, even though we won the game. So yeah, it's the next challenge, but it's a good challenge, right? It's better than the other way around.
Absolutely. You gave Haji Wright a rest the other night at Portsmouth. We'll maybe talk about the role that Ellis Sims played in a moment. But how is Haji? Is he okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and Ellis, I mean, I thought, again, you tell me, but I thought he led the line tremendously well and performed every way you want a number 9 to perform at Portsmouth the other night.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought he had a great game without getting his goal, but his involvement in both goals and his general play was really, really good. It's exactly what we need in this league. We talk about strength and depth and competition, and the way Haji's been playing, the way Ellis came in is exactly how we need it.
And we spoke about the fans the other night down at Portsmouth, and you said that you wanted them to bring their A game to the Watford game. I mean, we can't underestimate how important the role of supporters can be, particularly in tough times. I mean, the Blackburn game was tough, wasn't it, the last home game? But having got those 2 quick-fire goals, suddenly the fans were into the game again, and they managed to carry you through.
Yeah, this games will always be tough in different moments. Whether you're top of the league, anywhere in the league, it doesn't matter. This is too competitive a league. Teams, as we've just touched on, will make it difficult for you in different ways. Our fans are brilliant. They're always brilliant. They come in numbers. They support the team. And maybe in those moments, like a Blackburn first half, is when you need them to stay with it and be loud and understand that. And I think they are understanding of it. So I hope that they bring that at the start of the game, and then I hope we react well to it. But in the moments that we need them, I'm sure they're there. But they can definitely be there as loud as possible, because it's a huge strength of ours as a club together. And you see and feel the players' reaction to it. But sometimes I think obviously the fans can also preempt that with how they are, and they generally do.
And I just want to ask you where Jack Redoni is currently. What's the latest with him?
Just down the corridor, probably somewhere. But he's getting fitter, getting stronger, and we hope he's on course for what I've explained before.
Carl, well done on the clean sheet record. Just your reaction to that first of all. Did you know in advance of the game that it was possible?
To be fair, like Aled kind of kept it from me as well. My agent dropped it in a little bit, but I wasn't really too sure which one, because I think there was 2 after 55 minutes, and then I didn't know the second one as well. It's a really proud moment for me. Frustrated as well, because it was so late on in the game that I couldn't get the 6th clean sheet. But like I said to Aled as well, it's another target for me to try and beat that record as well. Like we're only 11 games in, and there's plenty more records that I'll hopefully try and beat. And the main thing and the main aim is still promotion. So we're not getting carried away with ourselves and put ourselves in a good position, and it's in our hands now.
I mean, it's not a preoccupation necessarily with numbers and stats and everything, but is that an additional driver for you, kind of like knowing what the clean sheet record was previously and all that kind of thing?
Yeah, like I spoke to Aled at the start of the season. We're always going to set targets as well, and I've been kind of setting smaller targets in the sense of in 4 to 5 games within the international breaks, and then the overall target was to beat the clean sheet record here, and obviously the one last season as well with Traff, because I'm mates with James Trafford, that I wanted to try and beat his record, which is tough going, but always going to strive for that. But yeah, always going to try and better my previous ones as well, so it's always going to be a target that I've got. So try and keep pushing for that. Aled keeps reminding me after every game as well how many clean sheets I've got left to get.
That's good. And Steve Raguzovic, Oggy, who played obviously 601 games for this club, he does the matches with us on the radio, and he was the first one to offer his congratulations when you passed him on the way to the ultimate record. But he did point out then right at the end of the game, and I noticed what you did as well, and you threw your head in the air when you let that one in. He said to me in the commentary, he said, Carl will be fantastically proud of breaking that record, but he'll be so frustrated that 96th minute goal went in.
No, yeah, I appreciate him congratulating me as well. I know that I haven't really met him yet, but I've heard really good things about him. Like Aled's spoken about him. So yeah, I'm really glad that I was able to beat his record, and but yeah, he'll understand as well the pain when it was the last minutes, and it was kind of like the game flipped on its head as well for the last minute or so. It was panic stations, but I think I've said this before, it's like the togetherness that we haven't really faced that challenge yet as a team after the 11 games, and the last minute against the pressure of putting the ball in the box and having their keeper up, everybody in the box, and we were able to dig deep and get the win, and tough place to go. So it was a proud moment, and you could see as the final whistle went, everybody came together and shows the togetherness.
Yeah, and shows the resilience that you were able to shut Portsmouth out when they were coming on strong in that last couple of minutes of added time. You played behind a different formation in front of you. Obviously went with Bobby Thomas, Luke Wolfenden and Liam Kitching as the 3 centre-backs. From a goalkeeper's perspective, how is that different to playing with a flat back four?
Yeah, it's different. I think the variety is something that we've got in our squad. We've got people that are challenging for the places. So then it keeps everybody on the toes, keeps everybody bringing their best foot forward as well. I think that Wolfie came in, he had a really good game, and then that's only going to help out Kitch and Bobby as well. Just going to drive the standards even more. I think that it was really good from the gaffer to change the formation to suit how Portsmouth wanted to play against us with their number 9. And I think that we kept him quite quiet throughout the game, which is credit to the gaffer and the assistant and the coaches and stuff doing their research with that. But yeah, I thought we had a really strong performance, and we have done, as you've seen, like for the record to even stand, you'll see that it's not just me, it's the back four, it's everybody on the team. But we've all really dug deep to get the clean sheets, and it's a shame that we couldn't get the one on Tuesday. But I've got to give the credit where credit's due to especially the back four as well, helping me out with that.
Mm. And are you a big communicator, a big shouter? I mean, of the four of you, yourself, Bobby, Luke, Liam, I mean, who's the biggest talker amongst you? Is it Luke or not necessarily?
I think we all kind of like put our 2 pence in whenever we can, really.
Yeah.
We'll shout at each other, we'll demand each other, but we all know it's coming from the right places. So especially on the pitch, and I think as well that the more that we do it on the pitch and the more that we're speaking off the pitch and building that relationship, is just going to keep building and building. We know that if I go and sit with Kitch and Bobby and Wolfie at dinner, and then we're building that relationship, and then when I'm asking him to do something on the pitch, he might do that extra 1% because I got a good relationship with him, and he knows that I'll do that extra 1% and try and dig him out of trouble. So, and then it's those little things that go unnoticed as well, and I think that hopefully we keep building and keep carrying on with this clean sheet and beat this record.
Mm. And Watford is the next game, obviously looking to make it 12 unbeaten. When you joined the club on loan, you can't have imagined that the season would have gone as well as this, Carl, surely.
Like, obviously I spoke to Grimes, I spoke to the gaffer, and it was stuff that we was actually talking about. This is the kind of team that we've got to be able to do it, and then it's really good that we're proving it now. That, like, I've heard all the stuff before, that we had the quality, and then actually being 11 games unbeaten and seeing the quality and seeing where we are in the league, obviously we're not going to get complacent. We've got it's in our hands now, and it's a really powerful place to be, where it's all under our control. But as well, it can be a bit daunting when the pressure's on, but it's when we've got the team that we do and the players that, and the whole squad that are going to produce every single day in training to and then get their name on that starting 11. It's a really good place to be.
I mean, hopefully, again, the winning run keeps going and you're able to sweep Watford aside. But I think the Blackburn game, that was quite difficult, wasn't it? The first 50 minutes, you made that terrific save from Henriksen just before half-time to keep it at 0-0. Then you got the two quick-fire goals. So you've learned to win matches in kind of different ways on this run, Carl.
100%. Yeah, 100%. I feel as though the Blackburn was a difficult game, and as well, the first half at Sheffield Wednesday, I feel as though that when we came in, it was 2-3-0 up, but all the lads was thinking we're not playing well, but we're finding ways to adapt whilst we're playing and find different outcomes to score the goals, or to, especially with the Blackburn, to keep the clean sheet as well when we're not playing well. So I think that's the adaptability that we've got as a team, and being able to just dig deep when we're under the pressure, and then able to just know that if we keep it tight at the back and keep the clean sheets or keep the conceding to a minimum, then we've got the players and the quality to go and produce the special moments that will define the game.
And just lastly from me, the relationship with the supporters, I mean, clearly winning a lot of games and staying unbeaten helps. What did you know of Coventry fans, if anything, before you arrived at the club, and what do you think your relationship is with them now? I mean, from the outside looking in, it's a strong relationship that keeps building with every game. But what did you know about Coventry fans, if anything, necessarily before you arrived?
I didn't know too much. Like, I only heard that they was really supportive, and they were a really loud fan base, and able to follow in numbers as well, especially for the away games, and didn't really know too much more from it. I think that as I started the season and then started to get into the rhythm and started to pick up a bit more form, then I think they could see what I was offering in the games, and then they started to trust me as well. And then that's good. It only does good for my confidence as well. So yeah, I hope that it's just going to keep building as we progress in the season.